It was something that I needed when I was a kid because I had no direction.
In the book, it seems like you're always talking about how you got into innocent mischief with your friends and things like that. And I could relate because I grew up in Colorado in a little mountain town and then was thrown into California when I was 13 and the suburbs of Southern California, which were very different. And for you, it almost seemed like, it seemed like your parents sort of tricked you into, staying with your grandparents. And it seemed like this, the Kung Fu studio took on, a surrogate family in a sense for you.
Well, that's exactly what happened. I was tricked coming to California. We were supposed to go for a summer vacation. They left me here, and I had no friends. You grow up in one place. And now I'm talking about 50s and 60s. It was a lot different. Friendship was much more close-knit. Relationships were different. You had an outside to play in. Friends were like family. It was a completely two different worlds for me. Brooklyn, New York, Los Angeles, California, people were so spread out, things were so spread out. People made fun of me because of my accent and the way I acted. It was a lot different. I was more or less a loner at the beginning and didn't have any direction. In school, wasn't a very good student. I didn't get very good marks. Some F's, some C's, some D's. The only A I ever got, always got an A in gym class. And then, going to martial arts, who knows where I would have been if I didn't find martial arts, because it took all my time and it was the first time somebody really noticed me in my whole life and paid attention and wanted to make me better in something. My mother, my grandmother, my parents, they loved me. They wanted me to be something, but they didn't have a direction for me. All of a sudden, I found something I did well, and somebody took an interest in me, and that was my friend, Douglas Wong, my teacher, Douglas Wong, and that's how it started, and that's how you become good in something, is you live and breathe it.
So you mentioned about you have long period of time practicing martial arts. So now you are the one putting the White Lotus together, right?
Yes, I developed that with a couple of my students. We sat and talked and discussed, what area we should cover, because a lot of systems do not bring out the full potential of a student that we like. So I sat there and decided what we wanted to do. So in our system, we have like 10 different levels. Each level, you have to go through a testing period. There's a prerequisite that they have to go through. I have different areas where they have to cover the mental, physical, and the spiritual side. So when they become an instructor in my system, you must be a complete person.
So the White Lotus system, do you work with the weight or you work with the chi power or?
Yes, the White Lotus system is an internal and external system. There is Qigong or Qi exercises in our system. We do the meditation from it. I learned that from my other teacher, Grandmaster Sher K. Lu from Tawan Pai system, which is an internal system. Also from other teacher, Grandmaster Wei Do from the Bak Fu Pai system. So they been teaching me a lot of the internal system.
Okay, so and also have weaponry?
Yeah, we're very well known for our weaponry. We started our tournament competition back in 1973 in May, and from May of 73 to December 73, we won almost every competition in the United States. We won over 500 trophies in that 6-month span. And in 74, from that point on, they would not even let us compete anymore. They asked us to come to the tournament and demonstrate, but not to compete, because a lot of people are dropping out of division, but they couldn't have anybody go up there going against our people. We're taking first, second, third place.
Right. And also, I know that your son Charles is also competing. Your wife, Sylvia Carey Wong.
Yes. Yeah, we do as a family. Also, my little daughter Tia, she's 3.5 years old. My son's 6.5, and they've been practicing for a long time. My wife has been ranked as the #2 woman competitor in the United States before. She went in retirement for a little while, but she's back in full blast again, so competing all over.
Right. And Sylvia Wong, I know that you also, besides teaching in your school, you also do some kind of movie stunt coordinating, or?
Yeah, we've been in the film business for a long time. I started with the Kung Fu pilot film, which is back with David Carradine, back in 1972, and I've been at it since that time. A lot of my students are in the film business. Picture you see next to myself there is Steve Lambert, one of the top stunt people in the business. Won a Stuntman Award for doing the picture Remo Williams. Next to him is Albert Long. He's been into many different movies, all using playing Bad Role, the heavy. And next to him is James Liu, also another top guy in the area. They do a lot of stunt coordinating. They've been in many films. They work with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. We just did a thing with Rutger Hauer. And also worked on a film called Dragon, where his name is Jason Lee. Will be the life story of Bruce Lee will be coming out. Yeah. And we're working on some other few projects right now also.
Do you find a difference that you work in real actual kung fu or the martial in the movie?
It's different because the movie was a camera angle. You know, in the studio, the students are used to getting hit, but the stars are not. So sometimes you have to be careful, even the stunt people that we work with. The tight angle that we have to use, or there's some type of, we use a lot of stuff like jumping, climbing, going through window, fire. Right. So camera angle is very important in that. So some of the techniques, Chinese martial art, where you use the techniques are very close and you can't see in the camera. It's not good for it. So you have to use wide type of kicks or shots or punches, something like this. So you have to work camera angle.
Right.